welcome to the 16th episode of the Wish You Were Beer podcast. I'm Martin Murphy. This is Mike Pizzarus. We have a make-your-own six-pack tonight of beer, of course.
Yeah.
And we're going to review each one of them and talk about some other things. So let's get right into it.
All
Got
right.
that first beer.
Just grabbing a bottle.
Ooh, the raspberry.
All right, so right here we have Southern Tier Brewing Company's Raspberry White Wheat Beer. Wheat beer brewed with raspberries. Maybe they just call it white because it's maybe what's the color or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Be interesting if it was like white chocolate and raspberry.
4.6%. Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.6%. There's no like description or anything. It's Southern Tier. It's gonna be a raspberry wheat beer. It's gonna be good.
All right.
I'm gonna use this.
Sure.
I'm sorry, Trisha.
Apologize for all the extra noises.
Well, it's okay.
All right. Ooh.
It's an interesting color. It's definitely more white.
Oh, I think I took too much.
That's okay.
Mm. Oh yeah, I grabbed way more.
Oh, that's all right.
All right. Southern Tier Raspberry White.
Beer number one. It's kind of winey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. Well, no. Maybe I'm.
I think that
imagining that.
I'm gonna have to scoot this.
No, it's a little
closer.
tart, but I wouldn't call it a sour beer.
No, I think that I mean, there's not much to say about fruity wheat beers.
Right.
I think they nail it every time.
Yeah.
It's good. It tastes like raspberries and it tastes like beer.
Schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Should get a schnozberry wheat beer.
Yeah, I'm getting. So I'm definitely getting the raspberries, but it tastes like a white wine underneath it.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I wonder if that's where the white comes from.
Maybe.
4.6%.
I'm definitely getting that. It's a seasonal beer. I didn't see that at the top there.
Yes. So like imagine this sort of raspberry beery taste, like malty taste, and then with this undertone of sort of a dry white wine.
Right.
I like it.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
enjoy it.
It's very good. All right, well, we're going to start with my topic today, which I just thought of because I looked it up. And I thought it'd be interesting to talk about. Martin, what is your dream house?
My dream house. All right.
What would your dream house consist of? Anything?
This is something I've thought about a lot. So if we're as a kid, all right. Well, I'm going to give you two things. I'm going to give you what adult Martin would want and what kid Martin wanted.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with kid Martin.
Okay.
I always had this idea in my head of having like a decent house on top and then having like a mansion underground.
That would be
like
cool.
a bat cave sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where like upstairs is
It's like a ranch or something.
yeah, upstairs is like any sort of normal house you'd see in a neighborhood or something. And
Yeah.
then you go downstairs and it is just like not even a mansion because that would be too big. I wouldn't want to like be living underground in a huge space. That kind of creeps me out. But like
And there's probably some problems with going like more than 2 floors underground or something.
But just somewhere that I can like retreat. Like having a whole it doesn't have to be huge, but having like a whole other house underneath. And I'm not talking about just a basement. You can have like a finished basement and a man cave, and that's pretty cool. But I'm talking about like having a whole nother house underneath.
Right.
And like friends can stay there and stuff like that. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Another thing I also wanted as a kid was like a hidden garage with like a hidden garage door that's like built into a hill, and it's like a garage door with like grass and brush growing over it, and it just lifts up.
Yeah.
And I pull into it. I feel like that would actually be kind of easy to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Because you just have to like plant stuff on top of a garage door
and
You
let
could
it
still
grow.
lift it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd have to be one of those ones that like swings up rather than
Mhm.
like rolls up.
Yeah, right. Um, and as for what I want as like an adult, I'm gonna have to think of that more.
You want me to
I
talk a
do
little bit while you think?
Yeah, maybe. Do you have something similar?
I've got something where it was like kid Mike
so
would want
do you want to
this.
do kid
Yeah, let's do
our kid
our
stuff,
kid
this,
stuff
and then
now.
adult
Yeah,
for second beer?
Let's do
Okay.
it. So like kid me has always like been the I want a muscle car and I want the garage to have it in.
Okay.
So like I don't know, kid me is not vastly different because I still want like a big garage, but kid
Mhm.
me is like I want 3-car garage.
Yeah.
Where I can pull all the cars in and like have my summer car in one part and have my normal car in another one
Mhm.
and like the wife's car or something in the third one.
Yeah.
So but knowing that wouldn't actually happen for me, but
Mhm.
what else was there that I would want as a kid? I've always wanted, this is still actually a thing for me though. I want a bookshelf where I pull a certain book and it slides to the side and there's like a little room behind it.
People do that now.
I know people
Have
do
you seen
that
the
now.
videos on like Facebook, like
Yeah.
the how-tos and stuff like that?
It's
Yeah.
very possible,
awesome.
and it's not super hard.
Mhm.
And that's like something I still want to do that. I still
Yeah.
want to have like the bookshelf with the room behind
Oh
it,
yeah,
or
me
like
too.
or like just have like a normal wall where I pull like a sconce or something and
Mhm.
it slides open.
That would be so cool.
Like just something like that. I've always
Yeah.
wanted. Just have like my own little room behind it. And,
Mhm.
Yeah. That's a couple of the things that little me would want.
Mhm.
And also like a big yard. Like just
Yeah.
like something that's like modest for the front yard, but like a massive backyard.
I like. Well, this might fall into like grown-up adult Martin kind of thing, but I like windows.
Mhm.
Not windows themselves, but I like natural light,
Mhm.
and so I'd like to have some enough windows that natural light is just streaming in to my house all the time.
Except for at night.
Yeah, whatever. But that's something I've thought about as a kid too. Like I just love natural light.
Yeah, I get a couple of skylights too that are
Mhm.
in the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right. Well, do you want to get into kid stuff and the second beer? This is kind
Adult
of
stuff.
yeah. Sorry.
I think I've got
You still have some more?
a couple of smaller things.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
I'll try to think of stuff.
I think the kid in me has always wanted like a gigantic bed
Oh yeah.
in
okay.
like this like big
Mhm.
room.
Yeah.
where, like,
me too.
I'll talk about it more in the next. Like, I'd be totally happy with like a king bed.
Yeah.
Like, I actually
Oh,
have a
yeah.
story about that because Hannah and I went to Rhode Island, and something happened in the Holiday Inn that we were going to, and they put us into this Cambria that had a
Mhm.
king size bed and
Awesome.
everything else in it. It was, and like I told Hannah, I was like, "Is this gonna be?" And like I told her straight up, I was like, "This is gonna
Mhm.
be the vacation where." You say we're like you won't let us not have a king bed for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. Right.
And like literally day one, like not even day one because we were there for a day, but
Mhm.
we got into the room. She laid down and went, "Yeah, this is happening."
My bed right now it's a twin bed, and my feet sort of hang off the end of it. And so I'd love to have a bed that is so big that my head is not at the top of it and my feet are not at the bottom of
Yeah.
it. Just like so big that
I get that on
no matter
even
which
on-
way I sleep,
yeah,
I fit.
I get that on queens, like because I sleep.
Yeah.
I have a queen in my room, and like my head is all the way up to the top, and my feet are off the bottom.
Mhm.
I'm like 6 feet
Yeah.
tall, and I mean like I'm not necessarily hanging off the bottom, but if I was to like flop over, my toes would be over the
Right.
side.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will go into beer number 2 and talk about what the adult us wants in a
Okay.
dream house. Welcome back. We're going to dive into beer number 2 and finish off my topic and talk about what the adult in us wants in a
Mhm.
dream house. Seeing which one's colder.
Okay. Ooh, the Ellicottville peach.
Here you go.
All right.
I'm getting
This
a
is
million
the
texts.
Ellicottville Brewing Company, just peachy. 4.2%, brewed with sweet peach and black tea.
Mm.
Now, you said you might have had
I
this one.
think I've had that. Because
I definitely have
Ellicottville is near
I have
Buffalo.
to open-
And I've gone the Wegmans in Buffalo that I go to with Hannah had that, and that was one that I'd never seen here before.
So, have you been to the restaurant in Fredonia yet?
No, I
You
haven't.
gotta go.
Okay.
It's so good. Been there twice now.
Oh, we also learned that you're supposed to pour your beer down the side with a little bit of vigor.
Yes. Because the carbonation that comes out in the form of the beer head
Mm-hmm.
is what keeps you from getting bloated.
Yeah.
Because if you pour the beer with no head, which is what a lot of people try to do,
Yeah.
once it goes into your stomach, that
And-
carbonation is just going to go,
Yeah.
and it's going to make you feel
And
bloated.
when you eat
and
something after
gross.
that too, like where they did the thing where they dumped a beer like that and then stuck like, I don't know what it was, but they stuck something
Yeah.
in the beer and it just like totally foamed up and like
Mhm.
exploded.
Yeah.
So
So you do want a little bit of head. It'll help your stomach out.
yeah. All right. Beer number
Number
two,
two.
just peachy. Oh, that is good.
Yeah, that's very
I
good.
like that a lot.
I'm enjoying that.
It is almost like a peach tea.
Yeah, I'm getting more black tea than
Yeah.
peach.
I'm getting a slight peach, more black tea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like the black tea taste.
Mm-hmm. That is good.
It's smooth.
I'm a fan.
It's kind of caramely, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It has it's carbonated, but it feels really smooth on the tongue.
Sorry.
Wrong pipe.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah,
All right.
I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Now that I've tasted it, I don't think I have had this. I think
Okay.
I've seen it and went, I've never seen that before, and
Mhm.
thought that we should get it, and then we didn't.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, it's good. I like it a lot.
All right, Mike. So, what does adult Michael want in a house?
So adult Michael still wants a big garage,
Mhm.
but it doesn't need to be like as immaculate as
Yeah.
I wanted it to be. I just want enough room to pull a car in and like maybe do some work on it.
Right.
Just enough like front to back room really,
Mhm.
I guess, because I hate having to like worry about am I in far enough and
Oh,
stuff like that. Because I've done that before. My mom, when she lived here, we would pull her car in and we
Mm-hmm.
would it would be a constant struggle of like, are we in far enough? And yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with that. So really just a garage that's long enough, slightly wide enough where you don't really just so you don't have to worry about space and like pulling in. Maybe a 2-car or something like
Yeah.
that where you can just whoop and both cars fit in there great.
Mhm.
A good kitchen is another thing that I would love in a house currently, because small kitchens kind of suck.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking through the couple of houses that I've lived in, because we lived on Raspberry for a little while.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that area. That's
Not
like
really.
yeah, I'll explain it to you later. But
Okay.
they've got some big houses up there. And the kitchen was awesome, and I miss that kitchen. But really just like have enough room to kind of live in the kitchen. Like
Gotcha. Yeah. Right.
the kitchen here currently is a little cramped.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like having space
Yeah.
and just not worrying about like turning around and hitting somebody or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. That okay, garage, kitchen, decent sized bedroom, king size bed.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean like I used to want a big bedroom, but like I'd rather have a bigger closet
Gotcha.
than and just not have to worry about
Yeah.
where I'm gonna keep my clothes, and because
Mhm. Yeah, like if you have a big closet, then that means you don't have to put like a dresser in your room.
yeah,
Yeah.
and just like have enough space where I don't, because I used to do everything in my room,
Mhm.
whereas now it's like
That's me.
having space in my room doesn't matter to me much.
Mhm.
You know, we've got TV down here where we play
Well,
video
yeah, and your
games. and
computer is down
the
here.
computer's down here.
Mine's in my bedroom.
Yeah, mine used to be up in my bedroom,
Mhm.
and I wasn't a huge fan of having it in there,
Yeah.
but it was nice because I could get done playing and just go right to bed.
Right.
But yeah, I think just really just having enough space to live, really,
Mhm.
and be comfortable. I still want a backyard, not huge, but something that's fenced in. matters to me.
Yeah. Do you like your backyard now?
Yeah, I like the size of it.
Okay.
I like if the size in my backyard now with a fence around it would be
Yeah,
perfect
gotcha.
for me.
Okay.
I want to have dogs and I want to let them out
Mm-hmm.
without.
Having to worry.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be nice.
just like in a porch, just a
Mhm.
nice decent porch that I can put a rocking chair on or something, and
I like the idea of that.
yeah,
I like your deck now.
I love the deck.
Your deck
now.
is awesome.
Yeah,
You have like a full size dinner table out on your deck.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
Then like when it gets warm out in the spring and summer, like we should totally.
Podcast outside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do it.
Do you have an outlet like
Yeah.
at the deck?
Yeah.
You can totally put these out there.
Yeah.
All right. So my house. Since I started dating Patricia, like my wants and needs for a house have like changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly revolving around both of us being photographers. So like we've talked about this actually. We'd like an office where we can both have nice desks and computers set up, and like maybe an entire wall is like a really, really long desk. And we both just have our computers set up, and then we can like edit photos next to each other and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
As well as like a whole room dedicated to just be a portrait studio, having a lighting setup that we can just have up all the time. We just have to flip a switch.
Yeah. We
that-
talked about that with the podcast a little
podcast,
bit.
yeah.
Just having a little podcast room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be really neat. For myself, this is something I wanted as a kid too, or more like as a teenager. I started thinking about it. I'd like either in my garage or maybe it's another room, like a workspace area for like computers and things, like a workbench that I can put a computer case onto and work inside it,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. It doesn't need to be like a woodworking kind of workbench.
That's something that I would like.
Yeah.
I would love to have like a woodworking bench.
I want like the garage woodworking bench version, or the computer and electronics workbench version of
Yeah, like a woodworking
like
bench.
a tool
Yeah.
bench and stuff like that.
Where it's got like the drawers where you can put all your tools for that kind of stuff in, and
Yeah.
I get that.
Because like woodworking is not something I do, something you do, but like something I do that does need a lot of space and a lot of work room and like requires a lot of tools is working on computers.
Yeah.
So you could probably pretty much do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'd also like a decent sized backyard. I don't need it to be huge. The house I grew up in, well, the one I live in now still, we don't have a backyard. We live on a corner, and so we have a huge, not even huge, a big front yard and a big side yard, and the backyard is just like no bigger than like a hallway,
Mm-hmm.
and my parents use it for gardens and stuff.
Yeah.
So a backyard is never something I've like pined for.
Yeah.
But I would like a big enough backyard that I could have like a nice patio or deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, something. Because like me and my dad played catch in our side yard because that's big enough. Our side yard is probably bigger than most people's backyard.
Yeah.
And it was just our side yard.
Mhm.
So like I don't need a backyard to play catch with my son or something.
Right.
Side yard would do fine.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing I like more about having a backyard rather than something like a side yard is not having to worry about cars or something.
Yeah, you have the
that's
privacy.
really like the
But again-
privacy aspect.
Yeah,
of
but
it.
again, that's not something I've ever known.
Yeah.
So
that's
I
true.
don't know.
That's true.
And I'd like to just enough of a backyard to like do something with it.
Yeah.
Like if my backyard was only big enough to have a deck patio and like a spot for a fire pit,
Mm-hmm.
then that's fine.
Yeah.
Like that works for me.
I would
Um,
love to have like a fire pit and stuff like
Mhm.
that, and just be able to say, let's go and set up some wood and
Yep.
have a fire. That would be great.
Mhm. I'd like a fireplace.
Yeah.
I grew up with one, and like every
I would
winter
love a
we'd
fireplace.
have a few fires in the fireplace every winter, and so that's something that's important to me.
Yeah. I like the idea of just like being able to burn, and get the heat
I
from
love the
that.
smell.
Yeah, and the smell.
The smell I love even more than the heat.
Yeah.
I'd also like it to be really high tech.
Mm.
Because by the time you and I get to the point where we're buying houses and stuff,
There's
the
still a
smart
lot more
home tech
phases
is
for us
going
to go
be
through.
that's true. The smart home tech is going to be crazy because we think it's pretty great now with all these Wi-Fi enabled stuff like thermostats and security cameras and stuff. But imagine what it's going to be like in 10 years or something.
Yeah. Yeah. When we could actually think about having our dream house.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd like all those things. Lights that I can control with my phone, all that stuff. Like a whole house speaker system would be really freaking cool.
That would be cool.
That's another thing. Patricia and I, we want music to just be on all the time in the house.
Oh, really?
Like when we're cooking, having dinner, or not when we're watching TV or something, obviously, but no matter what we're doing, we just want
just put a little music
records
on
playing and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
So a whole house speaker system would be really cool.
I would love to have a movie room.
Oh, geez.
Something where you could just have a gigantic TV and surround sound.
Yeah, I haven't thought of that, but obviously.
And get those super nice chairs and.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have something like that.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that'll.
Oh, wow, we did.
Yeah.
Talked for a bit.
Yeah, I think that'll conclude our dream house segment, and we are going to go into our snackcident waiting to happen.
Yes.
All right.
Good. I'm starving. Welcome back to the podcast. We're going to get into beer number 3 here, and then our snackcident waiting to happen for tonight. This one's going to be funky.
That's going to excite us. It's Evil Twin Brewing's Coffinade. It's an IPA with lemon and coffee added.
Yeah.
7% alcohol by volume. A refreshing drink often associated with childhood nostalgia. To others, a pop culture symbol of female emancipation. This says nothing about the beer.
Okay. This will be interesting.
Yes, I'm excited for it because
Those are 2 flavors I never thought anyone would put together.
And then on top of that, they added it to an IPA.
Yeah, right. I wonder who that is on the front.
I don't know.
Generic white male.
Yeah, I don't know.
So just pouring, I could smell lemonade.
Really?
Yeah.
You look like you got some sediment in yours.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't have any in mine.
Ooh, there's a lot of sediment.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. All right. Beer number 3.
Coffinade. Oh, that's a weird smell.
That is not a bad taste, though.
It's weird. I don't mind it. I'm not
Okay.
It's not weird in a bad way.
We've had a lot of beers that I think are really weird, but you actually enjoy them. Is this the first one that I really enjoy, but you think are?
Oh, no, I don't mind
weird?
it.
Oh, okay.
I just think it's weird. It's definitely weird in a good way.
It's weird knowing what's in it. I think if we didn't know what was in it, we wouldn't think anything of it.
I definitely get coffee. I get lemon.
I think we would just think it's a fruit beer.
Really? I'm getting a lot of coffee. I definitely don't think it's an IPA.
Yeah, but I don't think I could pick it out, though.
No.
I would say it's like
I'm
a fruity ale or a fruity IPA.
I actually kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's weird in a good way. It's very weird.
The coffee is definitely the undertone.
Yep.
The lemonade is right up front. The coffee is more of a base.
Mm-hmm.
Not a whole lot of IPA either.
I'm not getting a lot of IPA.
Yeah, not a lot of hops.
But you could definitely pick out those individual flavors.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
But
that's because
we know.
Yeah.
I don't think
we know what we're looking for.
I don't think I could pick out coffee from this.
If we just closed our eyes, took a sip,
yeah,
I wouldn't be able to pick out. I don't even think I could pick out lemon. Hang on.
Yeah, I think I would pick out orange, not lemonade.
Yeah, it is almost like an orange.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna go weird with our snack.
Yeah, true.
All right, so for today's snacks and waiting to happen, I went to Walmart.
Yep.
Went down the cookie aisle first, and I saw the list of Oreos that were right there on the right.
There was a
and-
list?
No, it was
Oh.
just a giant wall of
Gotcha.
Oreos that
Okay.
had different flavors. I saw the birthday cake one, which I was like,
I've had those
it's
before.
weird, but it's not like anything to write home about, I don't think.
Mhm.
There was another one that I considered. Can't remember what it was. But then I saw these
Okay.
red velvet Oreos. They have cream cheese frosting
Filling.
filling.
Yep. Red velvet cookie and cream cheese filling.
Yep. So one thing to know about me is that I hate cream cheese,
Yes.
but I don't mind cream cheese frosting on the
Mhm.
right things. And a red velvet cookie, a red velvet cupcake, I love cream cheese frosting on it.
Yeah. Remember-
pumpkin, I also love cream cheese frosting.
Yeah. I remember we made a beer cheese one time, and the recipe called for a block of cream cheese in it, and
I couldn't do
you
it.
you were like throwing up.
I wasn't throwing up, but I was definitely gagging at
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't do the smell.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
I can't do the smell of just bland cream cheese.
All right. So it smells like sugary.
smells
Definitely
like
smells like red velvet.
Yeah. It smells
Yeah.
like
It smells
cream
like red
cheese
velvet
frosting.
cake.
I like that.
Me too. I'm getting most of the frosting. I'm not getting really any red velvet.
I'm getting a very slight amount, but it's more of like the Oreo cookie taste.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice change of pace from like your regular Oreo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the cookie isn't that far off from the regular chocolate cookie Oreo.
The filling is way off.
Yeah.
The filling is like definitely a cream cheese frosting taste.
Yep. Yeah. But the cookie is. I think if someone like told me this was just a regular chocolate cookie or like blindfolded me, I think it was a regular Oreo cookie.
I'm gonna eat the cookie alone.
Yeah. It might just be like dyed red for all I know.
Probably. That's generally what
Yeah,
red
I'm
velvet is.
I'm not getting like any.
It's a really moist chocolate cupcake
Oh,
that you put red food coloring in.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was its own flavor.
Mm.
It's good though.
I actually like those.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave those out for the
Sure.
the freedom of grabbing. So in our next segment, we're going to talk about the campaign a little more,
Mm-hmm.
our D&D campaign that we'll actually do a session 0 of in 2 days, where we can flesh out our characters, do all the roles, and
Yeah, and then we'll have a lot to talk about next week.
I'm hoping that we'll get through the character flesh outs relatively fast.
Mm-hmm.
Because for you and Eric, we'll try to get the character sheet itself without stats done a little prior to Wednesday.
There is a lot of sediment.
Is there?
Mm-hmm. It looks like even more than before.
Oh, yeah.
So both of us have started the next book in The Name of the Wind, so the King Killer Chronicles, but neither of us have had a lot of time to read recently, and so I think we're going to take a little break.
I think
from
you
it.
and I have both gotten about halfway through.
Yeah, but that like I have not read in like a month,
Yeah.
so I think I'm going to have to go back maybe a chapter or two.
Once you get... That's one of the things I like about this book.
Mhm.
Is that like once you regain your bearings for where you are in the story, you just keep rolling forward.
Mhm. Right, so I
Because
wanna
it
see how
all comes
goes.
back fast.
Mhm.
I got a lot more coffee taste.
I didn't.
No?
It doesn't pair poorly. It doesn't really change it at all.
Yeah, it's nothing... This isn't undrinkable now or something like that.
Wasn't there one recently in like the last 2 episodes where it was like really drastic change?
Yeah, I think so. I can't
don't
remember what it
remember.
was. There was one where it was like, yeah, I'm not getting any of this. And then we had the snack, and then we went back for it, and we were like, oh, yeah, I'm getting nothing but this.
Mhm. It's like, shocker, we can't remember anything on a podcast where we drink a ton of beer.
Not even like we drink a ton of beer though. Like, yeah, just 3 beers, and it takes us like 2 hours to record the whole episode, a little more. This is good. I do like this.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It is a weird good.
Carissa at Branching Out Bottle Shop thought it was going to be kind of weird, but it's really not.
She said that it was weird in a bad way, is what she thought it was.
Yeah,
she gave us another beer
that
she thought about. She gave us another beer that she thought was weird in a really good way. So I thought this was weird in a very good way. All right, well, want to wrap this up and then head into our next topic about our D&D game?
Yeah.
Give a little details into the world and story. So,
okay.
All right, we'll be back. Welcome back. We're going to dive into beer number 4, and we're going to go into our fantasy topic where we're going to talk about the D&D game.
Yep.
You are.
Ooh. I'm excited for this one.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. This is a Collective Arts, of course. Wouldn't be an episode if we didn't have...
Collective Arts and Evil Twin.
Correct, yep. This is Saint of Circumstance. It is a citrus blonde, which is an ale with orange and lemon zest. 4.7% alcohol content. And... I
love that. I love that.
I think we should start mentioning the art on like Collective Arts games. I mean, we usually do, but... So we have a bunch of underwater... like landmine things with a hovercraft with
it looks
oars.
like a little raft that has a jet on it.
Yeah, like a hovercraft, but they're underwater and they have oars as well. So makes no sense as usual.
Yeah, I love it.
What was last time? It was like the buzzard with
it was like a hawk with like the parrot colors. Yeah, it was weird. Ugh. Oh yeah, give that pour a little oomph. Give it a little more. Oh yeah.
All right, so just to kill time a little bit, this is what is not going in your stomach.
Right.
So
there's still a little carbonation in there, but that's okay, I think.
Yeah, but when you release it in the pour, that means it's not being released in your stomach.
Right.
And you don't have these gases in your stomach making it go whoosh, which is what makes you feel bloated.
And the head is also good for like a nose.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a better smell for the beer.
Smells good.
It does smell very good.
Beer number 4.
Alrighty. Get the little raft on there. That is light.
I know. I was going to say, it doesn't even taste like a beer to me.
Oh, yeah. It's very, very light.
No hops whatsoever.
No hops. Slight
all
citrus. I'm getting a little hops, actually. I'm getting a slight bitterness towards the end.
I'm getting them on the end.
But citrus on the front.
Party.
Very light. And then hops in the back, just slightly. It's kind of smooth.
Yeah, for 2 very tart, fruity flavors.
This feels
not really either.
This feels like drinking water.
Yeah.
Like the mouthfeel to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just...
So this is supposed to be orange and lemon. But, it's not really... I get the orange, definitely.
I'm getting a little bit of orange.
For me, the tastes go... maybe like 50% orange, 30% lemon, 20% ale.
Yeah.
And that's like front to back as well. So orange first, and then lemon, and then and then ale. But it's with all that fruit in there between the orange and the lemon. It's not that fruity. It's more. They're more muted.
It's the zest.
Yeah,
it makes it more of like a. It cuts on the sweetness, I think, of those.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's fruity, but it's not sweet. Mm-hmm. There's definitely the taste of orange and lemon in there, but it's not like biting into an orange or lemon. It's not sweet and sugary like that.
Yeah. or even sour, like biting into a
Yeah,
lemon.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
You ready to get into D&D?
I am. I actually would like to know what your plan with your character is, ish, but when I'm done explaining. Or if you have just any quick thoughts that like pop into
Okay.
your head. So like you think while I explain. And
Mm-hmm.
so my thought is that you guys are gonna know each other prior to the start,
Mhm.
because I hate doing that tavern introduction, and
Yeah.
it's not my cup of tea for starting games. I definitely think there's cool ways that people can do that, but I just
Mhm.
think that's so bland almost,
Yeah.
of just like these guys don't know each other, where it's like you go into like a ton of stories and it's like these guys know each other. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have the three of you sort of grow up together. You're gonna do a bit of growing. I'm thinking like maybe up to the age of like 10 or 12,
Okay.
by yourself with your family doing whatever. And then you guys are gonna join this adventurers guild, which is actually kind of set up like a military, but not
Mhm.
a whole lot. Like, you guys are gonna have orders from people. There's a commander. There's a lieutenant commander. Blah blah blah. The ships. They have a bunch of ships. All the ships have captains and
Mhm.
everything like that. So, yeah, there's gonna be a lot to that adventurers guild that you
Okay.
guys are gonna know. And but my goal is that you three are going to have been brought in all at the same time to be sort of like this group that they're gonna have of just monsters, of just like people that are made to fight and do damage and work
Mhm.
together, really.
Okay.
Like, you guys are all gonna be sort of brought up to work together. So like throughout the military or whatever it is, the Adventurers Guild, you guys are gonna have been sleeping in the same room. You're literally going to be doing everything together.
Okay.
And then my thoughts of a story is that the world of Horizon has these sort of artifacts in them. I think there's like 7 different kinds, and then a couple of them have a different set. Like, one of them has 3. Like, one of the artifacts is like 3 pieces.
Okay.
That can all be brought together and do a certain thing. But these artifacts are sort of rumored to be fairy tales and stuff that are made up by parents, and yeah, stuff to like scare children and
Okay.
make them think that there's something big and powerful out there. And
Mhm.
so, and that's what you guys are brought up to think. And then the leader of the commander of your adventurers guild is going to get word that these might be real and you might want to look into it. Because if some person gets a hold of all of them, it's bad, because they could pretty much take over the world with
Right.
that kind of superpower, sort of. So this guy is going to send his most trusted lieutenant out to find these, and well, not sort of find them, but gain information on them.
Okay.
This lieutenant's going to go gain information about them. He's going to find out where they are, and he's going to try to take them all and take over everything. But that's something that he doubts of that guy, because it's his most trusted lieutenant, and you know, he spent most of his life around this guy, and everything he trusts with that guy. And so you guys are going to overhear this, the 3 of you. Somehow, I'm still trying to figure out how you're going to overhear it, probably behind closed doors.
Yeah. Maybe I'll turn into a mouse or something and
Yeah. And
go underneath the door. I don't know.
yeah. And you guys are going to overhear this, and you're going to try telling the commander about it, who he's either going to overreact and treat you guys as if you were just trying to guess treasonous acts against the whole place, or he's just gonna laugh at you guys and say you're funny, and you guys are gonna have to try to figure out what you're gonna do about it. But all in all, you guys are gonna end up taking a ship and leaving.
Okay.
We're going to start we're sort of gonna start the game on a ship.
Yeah.
So that's my plans for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any ideas for your character? Or?
I do.
All right.
So I'm gonna play a wood elf druid, sort of a very archetypal character.
Yeah.
And I did have sort of a basic story for my or origin story for my character, which I have to change for your narrative, but it actually still fits like a puzzle piece.
Okay.
So I figured I would like be born in this like small clan of wood elves on the ground
Okay.
in a forest somewhere, you know, and like I'm not very happy with how they live their life. It's they since there's the people who live up in the sky
Mhm.
and the people who live on the bottom on the ground. They're sort of like defensive, very defensive and like very protected, and
Right.
but that kind of means they're very boring,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't let anyone go out. Like they have boundaries for where people can go out and stuff like that. They're very protective, very cautious, and very boring.
Okay.
And as a young kid, my character is thinking like, I don't like this very much. You know, I have a sense of adventure. You know.
Mhm.
So one day I take off, and I am just in the woods. Kind of similar to Quoth when he's in the woods and all he has is his loot and he has to try to fend for himself and stuff. I do that for a little bit, and then I come upon this town, which is where I find the Adventurers Guild, and I join it.
Okay.
And then from there,
Yeah.
you take over basically.
Yeah. So going off of that, we got a little bit of time. You'll find this town, which there is a town on the ground that has the Adventurers Guild and everything.
Mhm.
They will probably send you up to the place where we're gonna start. Pretty much, that's where they would send you because they would probably see potential in you and say, "Hey, let's send them up there and see what they have for them."
Yeah.
So they would send you up there, and then they would designate you to this group that they're thinking about, and end up finding the other two.
Yeah.
And put you guys all in the same sort of place. So
Cool.
that'll all fit together really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to do another segment on my character skills and all that stuff?
If you'd like to.
Yeah, I think I'd like to.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
we
do
can
it.
chat about it. All right.
All right, we'll be back.
Welcome back. We are going to get into the fifth beer, and we're going to keep talking about D&D. Last I'm going to... Oh my gosh. That was like another language I was speaking. Gibberish. Last segment, I talked about the origin story for my character. This segment, I'm going to talk about some of the skills my character has. It might be a short segment.
Yeah,
but
and I'll
okay.
talk about like Eric and
Oh, okay.
Kyle.
Yeah, I
a
don't
little bit.
know much about their character besides the class they're
Right.
playing.
Okay. Well, we have Clown Shoes, which is we've had a couple of their beers,
Mhm.
not on the
I like them.
podcast, but I think this is our first Clown Shoes. That
No,
we've had on the
I think we
podcast.
have had them
Have
on
we?
the podcast. Yeah.
All right. This is a Clementine White Ale. Ale brewed with spices and natural flavor added. Not seeing like a description or anything. 6% alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
These
no
have all been
description,
really
so-
low. so far.
Clementine White Ale.
You know what we should do? We should make a little audio clip that's like beer being poured, like glug 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 glug, glug
Yeah.
just to fill that time.
And put them in there.
Yeah.
And like zoom in on the.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Clown Shoes, Clementine White Ale.
All right.
Beer number 5.
I like the smell.
That honestly just tastes like a white ale to me.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of white ales.
I'm not getting any clementine.
Hmm.
But we also did just have an orange beer,
Right.
so that could be part of it.
Yeah, I'm not getting much clementine. I'm just
Me
getting
neither.
white ale, and I'm not a huge fan of white ales. I think
Mhm.
the taste of them it's almost like too malty, I think.
Yeah, it's very sweet though.
Yeah. It's
not,
all right.
Not sweet like
I don't-
sugar.
I don't-
Sweet like a fruit.
I don't want to say it's bad because I can drink it, and it just tastes like a white ale.
Yeah,
If you like white ales, I recommend it.
I agree.
I had the Game of Thrones white ale that
Mhm.
came out from Omegang. Wasn't a huge fan.
Alright.
But that's because I just generally don't like white ales all that much. I thought it was alright, but I couldn't drink like the full glass I poured.
Yeah. This is kind of flowery, even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
All right, so my character. I wanted to play a druid. Well, no, actually, not immediately. I want to go through the evolution of my character.
I got you.
And I think I talked about it on the last episode, where like I wanted a character that could do sort of crowd control and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then and then Mike mentioned that druids can do that sort of thing, and then that got me thinking about a druid.
And you wanted to do a whole lot of beast shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to play it, so then I decided that I wanted to play a druid that was primarily shape-shifting, because druids can offer support and utility, but I wanted to be a druid who was like shape-shifting was their thing.
Right.
And so I was hoping, we were looking for like a subclass that sort of gave bonuses to shape-shifting and stuff, and we initially didn't find it.
Totally overlooked the player's handbook, Circle of the Moon, I think it is, where it's just like, yeah, here's a bunch of extra stuff for your shape-shifting. We're like, yeah, I can't find something.
So that's what we decided on. I'll be playing a druid who gets all these bonuses while they're shape-shifted, and they're sort of this master of shape-shifting. Because to me, that's like what a druid is. When I think of druid, I think of World of Warcraft. That was like the first class I played.
Just turning into a lion and running in and swiping at people. And, yeah. But you also want to do the crowd control thing, and I looked up like what are the best D&D classes for crowd control. First thing to show up was Bard,
which surprised me.
Yeah. And then the second one was Druid, and it came up with a whole bunch of spells that the Druid could learn that are mainly crowd control. So, that'll be a nice sort of thing to go off of for you. Like, here's the spells that I should prepare, and that'll be good, I think.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell me about everybody else's character?
So Eric is going to do a ranger. He's going to do a Beastmaster Ranger, where he has like a pet that hangs out with him. And does a whole bunch of extra stuff, but he is probably going to focus on doing a lot of damage with his bow and everything. So that's pretty much what Eric's going to be doing. And what Kyle's going to do is something really interesting, because in the Unearthed Arcana part of D&D 5e, which is sort of like a playtest material thing that Wizards officially releases on their site and everything like that, they released the Artificer. Artificer. I don't know what that.
Artificer.
I don't know. And he sent me a link to somebody who modified it a little bit and came out with the Armorer part of it. So there's a subclass where you build yourself like a little suit of armor and you run in and tank all the time.
That's sweet.
And so that builds off of, I believe, your intelligence and your strength. And he wants to play a gnome. So we were loving the idea of this little guy in a suit of armor running into battle.
I imagine him with this massive two-handed hammer.
Or something like that.
Yeah, and he's just like, whoa.
Yeah. And the suit has a whole bunch of buffs to him and everything like that. And he actually, he gets to do stuff like, he gets to make stuff. And he gets certain things that he can make at certain levels, and
is it only for him, or like can he be making Eric?
He can make stuff for you guys. Okay. So one of the things that Eric and I talked about was the fact that we talked about the trees having the magic power of the soil, where they have like the float wood. You can make arrows out of those trees. And have
that sounds awesome.
What I would do with them is have them effectively double the range. Because you can be more accurate, because there's no sync to them.
I'm jealous for Eric.
We'll get you something.
Okay.
But technically what it does is that if you use that, it takes the weight off the weapon.
Okay.
So whatever the weight of the weapon is off of your carrying capacity totally.
Yeah, considering I'm a wood elf, I better get some cool bonuses.
Yeah, you'll get some stuff. But he is in general just like a tinkerer and makes stuff.
Okay.
So one of the things that he pitched to me was a gun that is sort of like a satellite dish with a gem in the center of it that costs 50 gold pieces. And he can choose an element and cast Chromatic Orb with the gun. as a
cool.
once a day type thing. Like he
Okay.
can only use it once per day,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I said it was okay, because it
Yeah.
was like, yeah, that's really cool, and it's only once per day, so it's not
Mhm.
going to be like. And if it's super overpowered, we'll edit it and
Yeah.
make it fine. If it's super underpowered, we'll find a way to make it work. But yeah, I just thought something like that would be super funny, because like
That
he's-
is super funny.
He's
I like
he's
that.
a stinkerer, and he's
Yeah.
got the suit of armor, and then he has this little satellite gun. He also told me about a belt.
Okay.
It has an M on it, and he can use the belt to cast either
Mm-hmm.
M for mini or W for Wumbo. Have you ever seen that SpongeBob thing?
No.
Okay, so there's a funny SpongeBob thing where he has Mermaid Man's belt, and
Okay.
the M makes him smaller, and then when
Mhm.
he turns it upside down to W, it makes him bigger.
Okay.
So Pat says M for mini and W for Wumbo. So he made this belt. So this belt lets him cast either enlarge or I can't remember what the spell to make him smaller is. I don't know. And he can cast one of those spells with the
Okay.
belt to make him small or big.
Jeez.
So I thought that was funny. Something that's like useful but not like super,
Yeah.
not gonna like impact the game so much that we're gonna have to edit it or something like that.
Yeah. All right.
But I'm sure he's gonna be making cool stuff for the both of
Yeah.
you, and
That sounds awesome.
yeah, we'll get you guys some cool stuff. Eric wants a sort of what's one of those like one of those crap. It's a bow that has like the pulley systems on them, and
Recurve? No, recurve is the regular bow.
it's a crap. I can't think of the name for it.
Me neither.
But it's one of those bows. Like, yeah. So Eric wants to have one of those, and I'll probably give him some bonuses with it, and I'm sure he can make something for you that'll work. And
Yeah.
it'll be fun because
I'm not sure what would work for me in like an animal form.
he could give you like something.
Maybe
like,
some
he'll
like,
probably
set
make
of
you-
armor.
Yeah,
For an animal that would
yeah. It'd be cool if he could make you like an
or
armor.
a collar.
Yeah,
That maybe does something for me.
something that you can wear all the time that transfers
Mhm.
between forms and
Right. That would
gives
be
you
neat.
bonuses. That would be cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure we could make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eric's got some ideas for his character that we'll figure out when we get to it. I'm hoping that he comes back tonight so I can work on it with him a little bit.
Okay.
And
I
then
have a lot of
maybe we
stuff.
can do a little bit with your character when we're done here, but that's totally up to you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all we got for this segment.
All right. I have a lot of sediment.
Do you?
Yeah, and didn't I pour first? I poured first.
I
didn't
poured first.
Okay. I don't remember. I do like this though.
Oh, I do too.
Okay.
I just saw it like sort of floating in there a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind it. I just don't
Yeah.
like white beers.
Right.
I like wheat beers, not white beers. White ales.
All right.
All right.
We'll be back with we have to stretch this last beer out a little bit.
Yeah,
but
because
that'll be
we'll
fine.
do whatever your topic is next.
all
We'll be
right,
fine.
We'll be back.
Welcome back. We're going to dive into our sixth beer and do Martin's topic really quick. And yeah, whatever.
Okay.
So this is the beer that Chris had told us was a good weird.
Yeah.
In her mind, at least. There you go.
So this is the last beer, but we still have 2 topics to go through, but that's fine. Hop Vine Bling.
Stillwater Artisanal. That's
Yeah.
another one that happens on like every episode. Is
It's like that Drake song. What's that song? Hotline.
oh yeah, Hotline Bling. Yeah.
Hop, like
Hop
hop,
Vine
like
Bling.
hoppy vine, like grapes. Hop Vine Bling. This is a dry hopped Berliner style ale with Sauvignon Blanc grapes. Cool.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. No description. That's the only description we get. Do we even
Stillwater. Is there a percentage?
get 5%?
Ooh. I always like Stillwater Artisanal.
Me too.
I think they're them along with Evil Twin, where it's like just everything they put out is stuff that I like. Wow, that is light.
Yeah.
All right. Hot Blind Bling. Here we
I
go.
know when that Hop Vine Bling. That's so bad. I like the smell. It's kind of flowery and fruity.
Yep.
That's good.
That is very good.
Slightly tart.
I'm getting a little grape.
Yep. Tart enough that I would call it a sour.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm getting the grape. Ooh, I'm getting like the...
Ooh, you get the sourness right on the front.
Yeah.
And then the taste at the end. That's different for a sour.
It's like sour on the front, and then you get the dry kind of white grape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's white grape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is different, because normally it's like taste on the front and then it hits you with sour on the back and your back.
Yep.
Now I'm
I like it.
Sour right on the front, and then it ends with a little bit of a grape.
Sort of that dry grape in the middle sort of is kind of just like white grape juice.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I love it. I would go out and buy this again.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
I like that a lot.
Hmm.
And then sort of an ale on the back, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my topic. You don't know what it is yet.
Okay.
So I think you can agree on me with this or not. Doesn't matter. There are sort of 4 companies right now that dominate the tech space. I'm going to say it's Amazon, Google, Apple, Microsoft.
Okay.
Which one would you be okay with taking over the world?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That is really good. Huh.
And why? So why don't we just go right down the line and see how you feel about each one?
Okay.
So Amazon. If Amazon took over the world and every product was Amazon,
Yep.
and your Amazon robot greeted you in the morning, go. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't mind that.
Really?
No, not at all. Because honestly, one of the things that comes to mind with Amazon is cheaper.
Okay, that's fair.
because like whenever you want to find something cheaper, you go on Amazon and you buy it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind necessarily getting all of my products for a lower price.
Okay.
I have the Amazon Alexa in my room. I really like it. I use it all the time. A lot of this is going to be mainly me just talking about the experience with whatever products.
But like, what if they govern the entire world? Which, like, I guess
I wouldn't mind it.
I guess we should
mind it with Amazon.
try to think of like the bad things they might do. So, like, if Amazon had a monopoly on everything,
Mm-hmm.
if they just ruled the world and there were no other, like, there was only Amazon Internet, there wasn't Verizon, Fios, or Time Warner Cable. Like,
What could they do?
I guess you need to take how the company acts now and sort of extrapolate it. So, like, the way Amazon is now, they seem very consumer friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And they seem very much into the home automation kind of thing and AI thing. So you wouldn't mind Amazon?
I wouldn't mind Amazon.
Okay.
Because one of the things that scares me the most is like AI taking over the world, and hopefully us as a human race don't let it get to that point.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have a lot of different views on it. I mean, like, some people think that it's going to be the greatest thing ever, and it's all going to be great.
Some of the 2 of the greatest technology minds to ever live, Bill Gates and Elon Musk, have both said, like, this is not a good idea, guys. Like, we should stop with this AI. But then, like, programmers are still toiling away every day at trying to make this amazing AI.
I honestly think that some programmers just want to be the guy that does it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe they'll shut it down after they actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But yeah, I mean, like, those 2 technology minds are, when those 2 say that something's not good, you shouldn't do it. You probably shouldn't do it.
Right.
So, like, if some company is very into AI like that, I would not be okay with that.
Okay. We got to go through these quicker.
Yep.
Apple.
I love all my Apple products.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind it. I mean,
yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter to me,
I guess.
because, like, I think that the only one that I wouldn't like if I had a preference as to who wouldn't do it.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
What was it? It was Amazon, Google,
Apple,
Microsoft. I almost think that I wouldn't have Microsoft.
Yeah.
I think Microsoft would be the worst to do it.
Yeah, I think so too.
And if I had to put them in order as to who I prefer to who I don't, I would go Apple, Google, Amazon, Windows.
Microsoft. Yeah.
Yeah, what Microsoft.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? What's your list?
I would go Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft.
Yeah, so pretty much the same, but we just
Yeah.
But that's also because everything you have is Google, everything I have is
Yeah.
Apple. So like that just comes down to I have a lot of experience in Apple products and I like how they work.
If I go through it, I think Google already has the step up on it
Yeah.
because they have all this data on everybody in the world.
Oh yeah.
And they're the ones who are using that data the best. Obviously, Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft are collecting a ton of data about you. That's just what a modern technology company does.
Right.
But Google is the best at using it
Mhm.
and gaining insight from it and doing research on it and stuff. So I think they'd actually be like the best company to govern billions of people.
Yeah.
They would, like, technically speaking, do it the best from like a logistics standpoint and stuff. And what did I say next? Apple. I like the idea of like the entire planet having like an Apple aesthetic.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like buildings
That's
being
one
like,
of the things that I like about
yeah,
Apple.
that would be neat.
They are very aesthetically pleasing, and I
Yeah.
think that communication wise, because I know Google does the same sort of thing.
Mhm.
I think like for me, Google's here and Apple's here. Like they're very close.
Right.
But I just love like put this thing from my phone on my TV really quick.
Yeah.
And just being able to say, hey Siri, do this.
Right.
Like, yeah. But the same thing for Google. You could just say, okay, Google, do this, and
Yeah. Amazon I like because they already have this like infrastructure of being able to deliver anything to you that you could possibly want. They already have the groundwork laid for getting things to you,
yeah.
which I think is probably important in a government scenario.
I think anybody could do that though.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
if say Google or Apple made their own marketplace and said you have to pay $75 a year, we can get you anything 2 days for free.
Right. Yeah, they could do it.
They definitely could. I 100% think they could do it. I think that Amazon is just so established with it that
Yeah.
that kind of brings Google and Apple away from doing something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still got a little time.
Well, actually, I'd like to switch out the battery, so
Okay.
let's stop it here. We can talk a little bit more about Amazon and then talk about Microsoft as well.
Okay.
Welcome back. We are done with beer for tonight, but we still have the rest of my topic to finish and then our outro. That was a good burp.
Thank you.
So we talked about Apple and Google and a little bit about Amazon last time. So I think Amazon would be good because they have sort of this outreach already where they're like connected to people.
Yeah.
Not as much as like Google, but they already have this infrastructure where they can get you anything you need.
Literally anything.
Yeah.
Like they sell everything.
Right. They know where a ton of people live already, I guess.
Yeah.
And you like, so I don't know how else I can put it, but like they're already touching you and I know that's weird, but like
they're touching you.
Like you're receiving products from
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So they have the infrastructure. Now, both of us put Microsoft at the bottom of our lists, and I kind of want to figure out why that is.
Well,
Because I don't really know why I put them at the bottom of the list. I just did.
I slightly know why. I just like, besides Windows and having like a Windows PC, which really I thought I was going to hate having a Mac, and I love having a Mac. And
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a horrible like period of swapping and adjustment, and then really it wasn't bad at all. Like
Right.
But I would say I wouldn't put a Mac thing on my PC. I
Right.
wouldn't put the OS X on there.
Yeah.
But I've had a Windows phone. I've had a Zune. I still have a Zune. It's sitting out and pretty in the Jeep, but when it's charged, I will still put it on. And, the battery still lasts quite a while on it. It's surprising. Yeah, and so I've had Windows products, and the phone I wasn't
Yeah.
impressed with. And a lot of people who are diehard Windows people have gotten the phones and haven't been impressed with them, and they always
Yeah.
end up.
They
The
did.
two biggest diehard Windows and
Aaron.
Microsoft people that we know are Aaron and Mike,
Yeah.
both of which got away from Windows phones.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that Windows doesn't necessarily have the total outreach. I think Apple's got a way
Well,
bigger reach than them with the computers, the phones, the tablets.
I
and-
disagree. Microsoft does have the better outreach because the
well, I'm thinking product wise. That's what I was saying.
right, that's what I'm getting at though.
Oh.
The market share of like Windows PCs to Macs is like to this day still like 92% Windows PCs to like 8% Macs. Because
Well, I'm thinking like types of products too.
oh, okay.
So like Apple is big in having like tablets, phones.
Yeah.
The Apple TV and all
They're-
that other
yeah,
stuff.
you're right. They have everything covered from PCs to,
And it's all good
phones.
stuff.
but Microsoft really only has the PC,
PC.
thing.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
well
They're
done.
dominating PC. Absolutely. I totally
Okay.
agree with that. They
Yeah.
are totally dominating.
But there is like it's interesting because Microsoft.
How do you feel about Apple and Microsoft?
About what?
About Apple and Microsoft. If okay, four companies. Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Google. Which one of those would you rather take over the world?
Amazon, Microsoft.
Google.
Oh, Amazon, hands down.
Really?
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Two-day delivery on everything. Excuse you.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
I kind of want him to sit down and talk about it. Eric, would you sit down for a couple minutes and tell us your thoughts?
I would love to, but I got Bethany in the Subaru.
Okay,
Okay.
never mind.
But I tell you what, if you want to continue this conversation next Monday, you can take me in that.
All right.
Okay,
Eric's at Amazon for
Yeah.
2-day delivery on everything.
right. But he already gets that. They don't need to take over the world for that.
Yeah.
He already gets it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Where were we? I don't
know.
remember.
We were talking about Windows.
Oh yeah. So like it's funny that Microsoft has I think it's probably really safe
Uh-oh.
to say. Oh, we got a doggy here. Oh, there he goes.
I think it would be a matter of convenience, though. Everything like super easy to get and literally anything.
Right. Yeah.
Although actually, would that be so good? I don't know. I have to think about that. Some things it's like we need you to come out right now, but if it's gonna be 2-day delivery for someone to get my internet back up and running.
Eric
That's
was
a good
talking
way to
more
look at
about
it.
Amazon.
2-day delivery for your handyman.
It's true.
We need to get somebody out there.
So I think it's really, really safe to say that Microsoft probably has a product in almost every household, or has had a product in every household in the world, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's really safe to say.
Unless people are like diehard Apple fans,
Yeah.
like from the beginning, and only have had
Right.
like Macs and
But considering how big Microsoft is and the market
Right.
share they have,
Right.
where like over 90% of computing devices in the world are like Windows PCs. That's
Yeah.
insane to think about. So I think that's a very safe assumption. Saying that, or like despite that, they're not in the home the same way Apple and Google and
Right.
Amazon are.
right.
You know, people use their computers, their Windows PCs for a lot of things, but they're not thought of the same way as Google, Apple, and Microsoft, where like with Apple, someone might be completely Apple in their smartphone, their laptop, their desktop, and some of their smart home products are like all Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Google.
I think that's actually the one thing that Apple's missing is like a smart home product.
They do have like a smart home API.
Do they?
So things can take advantage of like Apple
Okay.
stuff. But like Microsoft is just like, yeah, this is the computer I do my taxes on.
Yeah.
Where Apple, Google, and Amazon are like things you interact with every single day for a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
where PCs are just
I think one of the things that kind of plays into that is that everywhere you go, you see an Apple product
Mhm.
or something that uses a Google
yeah.
interface. So like literally you go somewhere, the majority of smartphones you see are Apple, like iPhones
hmm
and Samsung.
Yeah.
You'll
Which-
see Google Pixel like you
Mhm.
have now every once in a while, but
Yeah.
literally the majority of everybody either has an iPhone or a Samsung.
hmm
When Samsung runs off of the Google,
Yeah.
which is crazy. You don't like Windows phones aren't
hmm
common at all. I think when I had a Windows phone, I was the only person in the entire high school that had a Windows phone.
Yeah, I think
literally
you're right.
think that I was.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So,
Well,
but
when
everybody
Mike
else,
McCartney graduated, yeah.
yeah. When everybody else had iPhones and,
Right.
because I used to be this diehard Windows fan. I used to
Mhm.
be all Xbox, all Windows
Mhm.
products, all because I had to.
I don't think I will
Windows
ever
phone.
get a different PC.
No.
I think I'll always have a Windows
Actual
PC.
desktop. I love having
Mhm.
Windows. But for my laptop, I didn't like. I thought it was going to be a hard thing for me. Like I said
Yeah.
earlier, I thought it was going to be hard to have an Apple laptop, and it really wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And the fact that like I can text people through my laptop,
hmm
like I can send texts to Hannah
Yeah, that's
from my
pretty
laptop. I love it.
awesome. All right.
All right.
Our battery's on red, and that means it could shut off any second. So we're gonna go. We'll come back with our outro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Alrighty. Welcome back. We're gonna dive into our intros. Outros. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming. This was episode 16. Holy crap.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
we've been doing this for 18 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
because we skipped a couple of weeks over the
Yeah, we
holidays.
did. How many months is that? That's like 3 or 4 months, isn't it?
Mhm.
Wow. We're getting close to like half a year of doing
Yeah.
this. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Well, anyways, thank you for joining us. You can follow us on all of our social media at WIWB Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube videos. Make sure you comment on them because we love seeing comments, and let us know how we're doing. And if you have any questions or anything, we'd love to answer questions and
Oh yeah.
see what we can do about any of that kind of stuff. Even if it's something like how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
10.
If I could say it. Yeah, I would say 14 ish.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. If you tried really hard.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it.
Are we gonna
Oh yeah, we have our we have our favorite.
Mhm.
I think we're gonna agree on this.
Okay. Let's both go for our favorite at
Okay.
the same time.
All right.
Ready?
Yep. Oh no!
I like this. We got to do this every episode.
Really, you like that a lot?
Yes.
I did like this.
This is my
second.
runner-up, though. That is awesome.
That's amazing. All right, so these two are our two favorites. The Saint
and
of
vice versa,
Circumstance.
our runner-up.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Saint of Circumstance, Ale with the Orange and Zest, and Hot Vine Bling, which is the Stillwater
I know, win
artisanal
that Hot
sour
Vine
with grape and whatnot. Wow,
That's amazing.
that was good. We should do that every
Yeah.
episode. I like how we like collided in the center. I was so expecting you to go for that. All right, I just liked that this was different for a
Yeah.
sour.
There's actually a little bit left. I'm going to have a sip. This tastes really bad now. It's really warm.
I got a little bit extra in there, but it looks
Okay.
pretty thick.
Yeah, I still like this. This one was maybe a little. I think this one had a better balance of flavor.
Yeah, I did like that about that one.
Yeah. This one was just sort of straight up sour for me.
Yeah. Slight grape taste. I just like that the grape was there because a lot of these sours you get, it's just like, yeah, that's sour, and then that's the
That's
end
true.
of the beer.
You're right.
Even though we do have a lot of tasty sours. I just like that it was different. I've never had a grape sour.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I feel like we definitely have.
I definitely haven't.
Okay.
I know I haven't
All right.
because I remember when you said that was grape, I was like, I've never had a grape sour.
Okay.
Yeah. It went through my head.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we agreed, sort of.
Yeah. Okay.
Number one runner up. Number one runner up. All right.
Yeah. Is
Thank
that
you
your
for.
foot? No, that's
No.
the cable. Sorry.
Thank you for joining us. Again, episode 16. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, all the other good stuff.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
16th episode.
16th.
Welcome to the 16th episode of the Wish You Were Beer podcast. I'm Martin Murphy. This is Mike Pitzerus. Tonight we have a make your own 6-pack. We're going to review each beer for you and talk about some other things. Do you have a topic?
I don't.
Okay.